All right, this is Colette Claire with the Gauntlet here with 3 Inches of Blood. And it's very awesome. We're at the Knitting Factory in Hollywood. So, new album came out yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
And
it's
you're
a big
on a
day.
new label, different producer, all kinds of... And the producer for it's actually really interesting. Jack Endino, right? From he's known as like a grunge guy. So how did that like?
I think that's kind of how he got famous in the '90s. But
he actually started recording around that time, right? Like so someone coined the term the Godfather of grunge, and
right.
he hates that. But
pardon me.
But we had worked with him before, actually, on our demos for the last record. So, you know, we built a rapport with him, and we like the way he works. So,
but so do you guys? And then obviously on your previous album, you had the guy from Slipknot. I mean, do you guys purposely kind of find like really interesting producers, or is that just kind of accidentally?
No, they're usually like suggested, like, because we don't, you know, actively like do research on producers or anything. It's just kind of something that happens, you know, and then, you know, with the case of Joey on the last record, he expressed interest in working with us in some capacity. So we had him come out and do some demos and just to see what his, you know, how he operates, what his work style is like. And interestingly enough, Jack and Dino engineered those demos, so we kind of went off that to say, okay, well, we worked with Jack on those demos. You know, we worked well with him. You know, he's pretty laid back and stuff. So, you know, we like some of the, you know, more recent like metal stuff he's done, like for like High on Fire and
right, yeah,
Toxic Holocaust, bands like that. So, we're like, yeah, you know, he's close to us. So, you know, let's work with Jack again.
I heard he has like a really kind of like stripped down style. Did that work with you guys since you have kind of like a school kind of sound? Like,
yeah, he's got a very, you know, the word gets thrown around a little bit, organic sounding. There's ways of recording, you know, using digitally enhanced sounds like triggered drum sounds and stuff. And we kind of wanted to go the other way, kind of the stuff we're influenced by was very much recorded just a microphone on a drum, and that's the sound you get it, you know. But we, you know, that's just how he operates, and that's essentially we wanted just to get the sound of how we sound live, you know. You know, you listen to the album, it's gonna sound like that, like the performance and the sound of the recording too. So.
Does the different producer affect the album itself a lot, you think? Like how it comes out?
It
like
can.
Songs and everything?
It can. Like there's definitely you can, you know, you may work with a producer who has a very good idea of what he wants to hear. And in the case, a good example with working with Jack, and he likes to just get the sound, the overall vibe that the band wants. So he's kind of like the extra guy, just making sure that your own personal vision gets realized, you know? So each producer works their own way. That's the way Jack works, and it worked out really good.
Some producers will, you know, kind of change the arrangement of songs and, like, you know, say, okay, you need to add this in there and whatever. Jack didn't really do much of that at all. Like, there was maybe a couple things. But, you know, he hardly tampered with the songs at all. We pretty much, you know, left it up to ourselves, and we arranged it all. And then, you know, if anything sounded really just weird and, you know, didn't sound like it fits, you know, he would obviously say something. But
kind of let you do your thing.
Yeah.
So, probably been kind of talking about this or asked about it, but obviously, so Jamie is no longer in the band. There was kind of like he was on hiatus, and that was the last we heard, and now he's not like in the pictures and stuff. So
yeah,
that's official.
Yeah.
Did that change like how the album came out too? I mean, obviously he wasn't a part of it at all.
Well, he hasn't toured with us for so long now. Like ever since we did Fire Up the Blades, and then before it was out, we did a couple tours, and you know his voice was really starting to, you know, get in rough shape then. So before the record was even out, he had to take a break. So he hasn't even really been touring with us
So you're kinda used to
for
it.
a couple of years at least now. So like most of, pretty much the whole touring cycle for the last record, he wasn't there anyway. So
It's kind of funny because we'll be asked that, and fans definitely, people who hadn't seen us live at this point, listen to the album, and go, where's Jamie? And we're kind of like, oh yeah, Jamie, like, because it's been so long he's been with us. It's kind of like the album's out, and the dynamic has changed, but there's a lot of the same thing. Like, Justin took over doing backup vocals, and the dual vocal dynamic that these guys are known for.
It still remains. With
Yeah,
you.
it's still there, but we've just taken the ingredients and done something different because it's kind of a lose-lose thing. Now it's like, okay, well, where's Jamie? And your songs sound a little different. But if we had Jamie and did the exact same kind of thing, people would be like, well, it sounds the same as the last one. So we're happy. We're just happy with continuing on. You go through speed bumps in life, and you can either deal with it and move on, or you can just let it stop you, and that's not going to happen with us. So
when life gives you lemons, say fuck the lemons. Let's go play a show.
Nice. Throw the lemons at someone. And then leave. Well, cool. And kind of speaking of which, you're on a new label now, too. Mm-hmm. Century has kind of picked you guys up. Was that just like a preference thing, or how did that...
I think it was, both sides kind of thought it would be for the best that we didn't have a business relationship anymore. They're geared more towards, bands that sell like platinum albums, and we don't sell platinum albums, so
they're kind of like the big indie
they're
label. They're not really
big label, so
underground.
they want to focus their energies on the Nickelbacks and the Slipknots and
the
Theory of a Dead Man. And
the record biz at that level has changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
Underground bands, like we consider ourselves an underground band. They don't need us, and we don't need them at this point. Things are just so different since we actually signed that record label. And like Cam said, it's probably everyone's happy with the arrangement. Having said that, Century Media is really doing a lot. They're working as hard as us with what they do. So there's a mutual, it is a business, and if one side isn't doing anything, it's kind of bad business, So, without saying anything bad about anybody, we're really happy with where we are now,
Yeah. So you guys are on a big, long headlining tour, right? More North America. Did it just start, or there's been a few North American dates, right? And then Canada and Europe.
Yeah.
We've played a few shows here and there since recording, and just keeping busy over the summer, but starting in a couple of days, that's when the first real touring for this record begins, and then we'll be out for 7 weeks, and some headlining, some not, and get into the really heavy cycle.
So we'll be playing. If you want to go see them, fucking go. So yeah, and then is tonight kind of a significant show then, because the album came out yesterday? You think?
Yeah, it's kind of the tonight's the CD release show, because it's the first one since the album's been out.
Yeah.
So even though it's not the day of, but close enough.
Day after CD release day show.
Yeah.
So close enough. Did you guys play yesterday when it actually came out?
No, we just flew into town and just hung out.
Slept, ate. No.
Yeah. Went and had pizza and beer and all the fun rock and roll stuff.
Sweet.
Eating food.
And going to bed early.
Yeah.
Metal.
Chips, pop, and parents.
Chips, pops, and parents, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so here's a random question. What was a really weird job you had before you were in a band playing music?
Weird job?
Yeah. Or just interesting.
Weird or
day job,
or just shitty job?
I guess it could be shitty too. Significant in any way.
It was a while ago, but the worst job I had was I was a dishwasher at a restaurant, a really busy, tourist-heavy restaurant that would keep me there till like 2, 3 in the morning, like cleaning dishes and then mopping the kitchen and stuff. And I only was there for a couple months, and it was the worst. I think after the first hour of my first shift, I was like, I fucking hate my life. But I stuck it out for a while and then quit. I bailed on my last day. I was so bummed, like, well, it's my last day. I still don't want to go. So I called and faked like I sprained my ankle and I couldn't walk on it. And they're like, okay, well, it's the last day. And I was like, yeah, really sorry, I can't even walk, so, I can't make it. And they're like, okay. So I was like, all right, fuck work. And I went and played golf. Yeah. And it was totally worth it.
Golf beats washing dishes any day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was a TV personality in Vancouver. I hosted a game show, and it was 4-3-2 Run. It was called, and I'm actually quite a celebrity up there. No, I was a pipe fitter.
Kind of buying it.
I used pipe wrenches and twisted pipes together, and I'd look at blueprints and see what I would be doing for the next 8 months at a time, and I really hated my life at that point.
Seems like that's kind of the running theme.
The money was good, but
hating life.
I would rather make no money and be happy, like now, than do that. So,
Sure.
to hell with the game show.
Didn't need the stardom life. The Vanna Whites, Okay. Well, cool.
Oh, I had a Vanna White
Vanna White.
type sidekick.
Canadian.
If I had that show.
Definitely. Have a couple. So, well, cool. I guess we're looking forward to the show, the album release show, and fucking, yeah. So.
Cool. Well, thanks for the support.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yes. Go to the tour. Buy the album.
So long.